Time. It's a constant, it's relentless, it marches forward, never stopping, never slowing. Or does it? What if I told you that time can be twisted, stretched, and even seemingly reversed? Prepare yourself for a journey into the fascinating world of time-bending riddles. Get ready to challenge your perceptions and unravel the mysteries of time itself. Are you up for the challenge? Let's dive in. Imagine waking up one Sunday, the sun shining brightly. You glance at your alarm clock, it reads 7 a.m. Perfect. You have plenty of time before your 9 a.m. brunch reservation. You enjoy a leisurely breakfast, read the paper, and get ready. As you head out the door, you check your watch. 9 a.m., how is that possible? You rush to your brunch date, arriving just in time. But wait, everyone is just sitting down, looking surprised to see you. We thought you were late, they exclaim. It's only 8 a.m., what happened to that missing hour? Was it a glitch in the matrix? A rip in the fabric of time? The answer lies in a simple yet often overlooked phenomenon. Daylight saving time. That's right. The missing hour was simply the shift back to standard time. A trick of the clock, not a tear in the cosmos. Picture this. You're strolling through an antique shop filled with curious trinkets and forgotten treasures. Your eyes fall upon a peculiar clock. Its hands move, but not as they should. They tick counterclockwise, seemingly reversing time. Is this a timekeeper from an alternate dimension, a portal to the past? Or is there a more rational explanation? The answer is simpler than it seems. The clock is simply designed to run in reverse. These clocks, sometimes called reverse clocks, are often used in shops and businesses to remind people of closing time. The backward movement of the hands creates a visual countdown, a constant reminder that time is ticking away. Two runners line up at the starting line, ready to race. The air is thick with anticipation, and the crowd is buzzing with excitement. One runner, Alice, is incredibly fast, a blur of motion. Her legs move with the speed of a cheetah, almost defying the limits of human capability. The other runner, Bob, is much slower, his pace steady but unremarkable. He runs with a calm and measured rhythm, like a metronome ticking away. They take off, Alice sprinting ahead, leaving Bob in the dust. Her rapid strides quickly create a noticeable gap between them. Here's the riddle. If Alice runs twice as fast as Bob, will she always be twice as far ahead? It seems like a simple question, but the answer is more complex than it appears. This might seem like a straightforward question of speed and distance, but the answer is more nuanced. It's not just about how fast they run, but also about how long they run. While Alice will initially create a significant lead, the distance between them won't always be double. Over time, the gap between them changes in a way that isn't immediately obvious. Why? Because distance is a factor of both speed and time. The longer they run, the more time plays a role in determining the gap between them. As time goes on, the difference in their speeds becomes less significant in relation to the total distance covered. The initial burst of speed from Alice gives her an early advantage, but it doesn't keep doubling the gap. Think of it like this. If Alice runs 10 miles per hour and Bob runs 5 miles per hour, after 1 hour, Alice will be 5 miles ahead. This seems straightforward, but let's look further. However, after 2 hours, Alice will have run 20 miles and Bob will have run 10 miles. The gap is now 10 miles, which is still significant but not double the initial 5-mile gap. While Alice is still ahead, the distance between them is now 10 miles, not double the initial 5-mile gap. This illustrates that over time, the relative difference in their speeds becomes less impactful on the distance between them. The paradox of speed and time reveals that initial advantages don't always scale linearly. Section 5. The puzzle of the time traveler's photograph. Can you spot the impossibility? Imagine a world where time travel is not just a concept from science fiction, but a reality. A daring explorer, filled with curiosity and a sense of adventure, ventures into the past, armed with a camera to capture undeniable evidence of their journey through time. They return with a photograph, a single image that supposedly proves their incredible feat. The photograph depicts a bustling city street filled with vintage cars and people in period clothing, all seemingly authentic to the era. But something isn't quite right. At first glance, everything appears normal, but a closer inspection reveals a hidden impossibility. Can you spot the anachronism cleverly concealed within the frame? The answer lies in the details. Look closely at the buildings, the signs, the objects scattered throughout the scene. Each element holds a clue, a piece of the puzzle waiting to be discovered. Somewhere, hidden in plain sight, is an object that shouldn't exist in that time period. It's a subtle detail, easily overlooked but impossible to ignore once noticed. It could be a modern billboard advertising a product from the future, a satellite dish perched on a rooftop, or even a stray plastic bottle discarded on the sidewalk. These anachronisms, objects out of their proper place in time, reveal the photograph as a clever fabrication. They serve as a reminder that while the idea of time travel is fascinating, the evidence must be scrutinized with a discerning eye. Section 6. The Enigma of the Ageless Twins, a cosmic conundrum of time dilation. One of the most mind-bending concepts in physics is time dilation, the idea that time can pass at different rates depending on speed and gravity. This concept is famously illustrated by the twin paradox. Imagine two identical twins. One twin stays on Earth, while the other embarks on a high-speed journey through space. When the traveling twin returns, they will have aged less than the twin who remained on Earth. How is this possible? According to Einstein's theory of relativity, time slows down as you approach the speed of light. So, for the twin traveling at incredibly high speeds, time will actually pass slower relative to the twin on Earth. This difference in aging, though seemingly impossible, is a real consequence of the flexible nature of time itself. Section 7. The Secret of the Shadow Clock, unraveling the mystery of time zones. Before the invention of standardized time zones, people relied on the sun to tell time. A sundial, one of the earliest timekeeping devices, uses the position of the sun to cast a shadow indicating the hour. But here's a riddle. If it's noon in New York City, what time is it on a sundial in Los Angeles? The answer is noon. While we now know that different locations on Earth experience different times due to the Earth's rotation and the concept of time zones, a sundial will always show local solar time. So even though clocks in Los Angeles would read 9 a.m., a sundial would still indicate noon, as the sun is directly overhead in both locations at that moment in solar time. Section 8. The Case of the Disappearing Day, a Leap Year Quandary. Every 4 years we add an extra day to February, creating a leap year with 366 days instead of the usual 365. This adjustment helps synchronize our calendar with the Earth's orbit around the Sun. But here's a curious thought experiment. If you were born on February 29th, a leap day, and only celebrated your birthday on that specific date, how many birthdays would you have celebrated after 40 years? The answer might seem counterintuitive. You wouldn't have celebrated 40 birthdays, only 10. Since leap days only occur every 4 years, you would only have the opportunity to celebrate your birthday on the actual date 10 times within a 40-year span. The missing birthdays highlight the quirkiness of our calendar system and the intriguing relationship between timekeeping and astronomical events. Section 9. The Time Warp Train, a journey through different time zones. Imagine embarking on a train journey across a vast continent, traveling from east to west. As you traverse different time zones, the time on your watch seems to shift, sometimes rewinding, sometimes leaping forward. If you board the train at 10 o'clock a.m. and travel for 3 hours, passing through 2 time zones where the time is set back by 1 hour each, what time will it be when you step off the train? The answer is a bit of a time-bending trick. You'd actually step off the train at 9 o'clock a.m. Even though you traveled for 3 hours passing through time zones that set the clock back, the actual time elapsed remains constant. So, while it might feel like you've traveled back in time, you've simply adjusted to the local time of your destination. Section 10. The Time Capsule Challenge. Messages from the past, visions of the future. Time capsules, those containers filled with artifacts and messages from a specific era, offer a fascinating glimpse into the past and a way to communicate with the future. They are like a bridge connecting different generations, allowing us to share our stories, our triumphs, and our challenges with those who come after us. Imagine opening a time capsule buried 100 years ago, the excitement and curiosity that would fill the air as you unearth this treasure trove of history. Inside, you find letters, photographs, and everyday objects that provide a window into the lives and perspectives of people from a bygone era. These items tell stories of their daily lives, their dreams, and their struggles, offering a personal connection to history. Now, imagine creating your own time capsule to be opened 100 years in the future. This is not just an act of preservation but a message to the future, a way to communicate across time. What would you include to represent your life, your values, and your hopes for the future? Would it be a letter, a photograph, or perhaps an object that holds special meaning to you? This thought experiment transcends simple riddles and delves into the profound nature of time itself. It challenges us to think deeply about what we value and what we want to be remembered for. It invites us to consider our place in the grand tapestry of history, to reflect on the past, and to contemplate the legacy we hope to leave behind. By engaging in this exercise, we not only preserve our memories but also create a dialogue with the future, ensuring that our voices and experiences continue to resonate through the ages. Section 11. Time's Unending Dance, the fascinating flow of past, present, and future. Time in all its mind-bending complexity continues to fascinate and challenge our understanding. From the mysteries of time dilation to the quirks of our calendar system, the riddles and paradoxes of time reveal the intricate interplay between our perception and the reality of this ever-flowing dimension. As we've explored these time-twisting puzzles, we've gained a deeper appreciation for the flexible and often counterintuitive nature of time itself. So, the next time you glance at a clock, remember that time is more than just a number. It's a fundamental aspect of our universe, full of wonder, mystery, and endless possibilities for exploration.